It's been a hot minute. Had a lot going on. Got a lot of work. Got a lot of other stuff. Like, hopefully this video gets posted. The Fadal. I'm finishing up a set of 302 heads, the 360 heads, and 350 heads. So my boring machine's tied up ducking heads, and got a 360 that I need to hone out. I'm guessing late 70s. Got a lot of pits in it. Got a fair amount of wear. Customer had a set of pistons for it. He's going to go 40, which is good because it's probably going to need it. I've got my rough end bore gauge set in, and we got about 3 thou wear, 4 thou. With some pits. Right there we got 4. So I've got my Sunnen SB10. Love this machine. So lengthy video, and I'm just gonna upload it and let it play. So whatever happens while I'm doing this happens. So I'm gonna set this machine up right here. This is top stroke, so this is as far as it's coming out of the hole. I'm gonna go to my setup menu. And I put in a set of 80 grit diamonds, and I have a 8 diamond head, 3 inches long, and they're split. So I've got 16 diamond surfaces that I'm honing with. This will make it straight and round. Bear with the camera. Alright, so I set my head in here. I don't have my stroke length set yet, so I've got to go in and set all that up. I've got it set up where I did a 265 a minute ago. It was Chevy block. 262. Alright, so 4 diameter, and I was doing small holes. I was on 3.75. So I'm gonna punch it to 4.040. That's where we're going. My bore length, I'm gonna put my measure in there. I'm gonna go down to the bottom of the hole. So I'm right at 6 1/8. It has a lot of web clearance down here. So when my hone goes down, it's not gonna kill it when I overstroke, because you've got to, your hone can't be right at the top and right at the bottom. If so, it'll have a belly in the center and it'll be tight at the top and the bottom. So you got to overstroke so much. A lot of that depends on how hard the block is. A lot of that depends on how much material you're taking out. I'm roughing this in with 80 grit. I'm hoping it eats pretty good. My stone length, 3 inch. I'm gonna overstroke a 1/2 inch on the top and a 1/2 inch on the bottom to start out. Let's see. I'm probably gonna course it at 20 degrees. So it says I need to be at 3.8 inches. And I'm pretty much set up right there. If I needed to change this, I would just loosen this and run this in and out. It moves the head up and down. So that's good. I'm at the top. Now I need to make sure that I'm a 1/2 inch sticking out. So I'm a little over a 1/2 inch. I don't know if you can see that very good. So I'm gonna drop, or I'm gonna raise the block up a little bit. Raise the block up a little more. A little more. Alright, now I'm stroked out a 1/2. And if I'm on 3.8 inches of stroke with a 3 inch stone, when it's all said and done, it's going to stroke in the bottom over a 1/2 inch. Now this machine, it's a pretty good machine. I hate that I've let it get this dirty. But I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna say we're gonna run rough. So when I say we run rough, that's gonna give me this parameter right here. So I'm roughing in at 20 degrees. I might change this to, let's change this to the RPMs to 140. And the stroke rough-in speed is 40. That still gave me a 20. Let's change this to 150. Speed them up a little bit. The only thing is, I want to go the other way. I slow it down a little bit because these are brand new diamonds and they will chatter. If you get them spinning too fast, you will not like it. So I'm going to go to 120. Let's see what that's going to give us. That's going to give us 22 degrees. Now, I want it on auto dwell. I'm going to set my dwell settings. I want it to have 4 strokes to start with before it ever dwells. Strokes between dwells, I want 2. My threshold's 10. Being as it's got some taper, I'm okay with that. That way it goes on and dwells more. And what I'm going to do is tell it to dwell about 4 times in a row. That way it'll go on, let's change it to 5. That way it's going to go on and knock out the taper. I don't want to be beating on my diamonds that much. And see, Fadal's in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but she just switched and she's running another 2 thou down on the head. And I think I have 3 more passes to go. What I'm taking off on that. And then I have 4 more heads to go. So I'm back to here. So while that's working, this is going to work. And while this is working and that's working, I'm going to work on cutting seats or putting stuff in the shop blaster, picking up tools, something. That's the good thing about this machine here. It'll dwell on its own. It'll run on its own. It'll shut off where you want it to. Now on this head, I can tell it to count by time, and I can put in time, like 36 seconds. Or I can tell it to count by 0 shut off and how many thousandths I want it to ratchet out before it shuts off. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put this on the lowest ratchet setting. That way it doesn't pressure out too dang quick. Since I'm running diamonds, they're really not gonna wear. By the time this is all said and done, and I've roughed out 35 thou with these, they might wear a half of a thou, maybe a thou total. It's not gonna be much. And I'm gonna flip them as I go from hole to hole, or every 4 holes or something. I end up flipping them, and I'm not gonna take 30 at a time. I'm gonna do it in steps. That way the block, I run oil, and my block's gonna get warm, and my reading's gonna be false because my cast iron's expanding more than standard measurement. Standard measurement's usually around 69 degrees. This block's gonna get about 85 or so. So when it cools down, it's gonna tighten up about 5/10 of a thou, 6/10 of a thou. Now I'm in where I want to be. I'm gonna rough. I don't want any finish cycles on because I'm just roughing. I've got my gauge set up, and my gauge is set up for 4-inch 40 thou. So if it made it all the way to 10, that would be 4-inch 40 thou. And it's 2.5, 3, close to 10, away from 10. So I've got 2 to 3 thou on it. Now I'm gonna turn this machine on, and I'm gonna set my stop. Normally, if you're running a 4 stone or 4 diamond head, or a 2 with 2 wipers, each one of these would be a thou. But where I have this 8 diamond head, each one of these is only a half a thou of travel. So if it went from this mark to here, because you see you got 5, so if I was running a 4 diamond head, that would be 5 thou. But where I'm running a 8 diamond head, the measurement change, and that 5 will only be 2.5 thou. Once it hits the 0, it's at the shutoff point. So I've got to sit here and I need to loop this up. So I want to take 10 off to start with. So I'm going to put it on 20. That should take 10 thou off. Somewhere in the ballpark. And I got to spray some good stuff on there. Now I'm going to back the load off. I'm going to set it back on here again, and I'm going to change this once it's running. So I'm going to back it off a little bit, that way the stone's free run, because I want to see if it's bottoming out. It's going to be tighter in the bottom than the top, so I don't want to set my tension on the top. Now I'm going down to there to make sure I'm not hitting anything on the webbing, because I don't want to kill my new diamonds. So there's no load on here, 3%. It's not even really able to read the hole because the load's so light. So I'm gonna start tightening up this head, and in a minute, all right, you hear? It's hitting where the ring stopped at the top, and it's hitting at the bottom. When it goes down, you hear it hit, and you hear it a little bit, and you hear it quit. So I'm going to count that as my 0 mark, and I've got it on 20. Normally I would bore this on the Fadal, but where it's tied up doing heads, I've got a bigger Fadal than that. It's a 40-20. It's got a 4-axis rotator. I have a 60-30, but it's at my other shop, so I'm not going to be able to do it. Now, if you can see, we're just at 4% load, so I'm going to load it up more. Now these are new diamonds, so they're going to squeal. I just don't want them to chatter. And you can see I'm tight at the bottom. So it reads where it's tight, and whatever I'm programming in is what it's going to do. So she's going down and she's going to hone out the bottom over and over. It'll make a stroke, and it'll stay down for 2 counts, and it is going to beat the bottom out as quick as it can, and that's what you want it to. That way the hole gets straight as quick as it can. Now if you can tell we went from 20 to 16, so that should be 2 thou. So I'm going to turn it off and just see what 2 thou look like. This machine's good for removing taper. This is a very, very rigid setup. Alright, so if you can look, I've been eating the bottom out. It misses here because that's where a piston was sitting with water in it. It comes up here, and then you see this top where the ring stopped. So it's eating on that, and it's not getting right here. These go over the terrain, and it hits the high spots, and it don't hit the low. So if this cylinder, look here, it touches here, it touches there, and it doesn't flex as it's going up. Now this is very coarse, and if I want to see what it looked like, throw this out of the way. So right now I'm at 14 minutes of just talking. So I'm going to go in the hole where the wire is. Alright, 25 and 5, 6. Alright, 25 and 11. So 25, 35. 31 more to go. Yeah. I'm in the wear. Now we're going to go down in the bottom. You see, we're still tighter. As it goes this way, it loosens up. So you go till rocket, till it won't go any tighter. So let's check. Between the tightest spot, that is 1.5 thou from 10, to the loosest spot, that is 4 thou from 10. So we're only what, 2.5 thou? No, 1.5, sorry. Been a long day. So 2.5. So let's eat another 2 and see what the hole looks like. And these are still pretty square on the end. So it's gonna cut, as these things wear out, and depending on what hole you're doing, this is the old set, they're gonna get rounded. I keep a set for big block and I keep a set for small block. The only thing that stinks is I don't have this hone head set up to where I can go to do like little Hondas, like a little 2/4. So when I do that, I have to run a different head with stones, and then you're fighting it the whole time. With diamonds, you're not. So I'm gonna go on and ratchet it out till it starts contacting. Load's coming up. 5%. I want about 20 something. Maybe 30. If my diamonds had more wear on them, I would be a lot more. So I tell you, we're gonna run this till it gets to 10. Well, we want to take 2 more out, so let's run it till it gets to what would have been 11. And we're gonna see what our hole looks like. Now, while that's doing that, and I could speed this machine up and it would run a whole lot faster. Not for production, so it really don't matter. I've got other things to be doing. We're in on this head. She's on the 10 thou mark, and it had a big bow in it. So it hit good here, and it didn't hit here. So we're gonna have to go a little more because it did hit out there. So I can have this machine going, that machine going, and I could be building on the engine. I've got one in the bay in there to build. I've got 2 more lined up, 3 more head, small engine to build. Just built a 327. Let's go see how far it went. Alright, so we're ratcheting slow. I can make this thing put more pressure on quicker because it's not keeping up with how much it's taking off. My load's still lower than I need it. So I'm gonna stop it a minute. I'm gonna move it to 2. Right here. That will increase the ratchet speed. So it ought to start bringing the load up a little bit. Alright, still dropped off, and I've got my load low still. But a lot of the reason why I'm doing that is my diamonds are new and they got a hard edge on them. And I'm trying to keep the chatter down, because I can hear it when it's going lower. I can hear it chatter up. Now, let's move it up to 3. Three's generally what I do when I'm running petrified stones. So I'm still light on the load, but it actually climbs more than what it does because it's ratcheting and pushing. Alright, so we're close to being on 11. And when it goes down, I hear a little growling. That bottom doesn't like it. So that would have been taking out 2 more thou, roughly. Sometimes you can't see it all because the grit is so coarse on 80. See, I left my light. Roll this out of the way. Now, I've caught more. I just have a small section in the center and a small section on the top. So I'm getting where I need to be. Now, I've got the bottom almost where the dip is. I'm within a thou. Not a hole. So let's say it's 15 and a half. It's 15, that's within a half. I'm a little tight at the bottom. 14. So there's only a thou and a half difference across this whole hole now. And I've only had to travel maybe 3 thou. So by the time it gets to the other side, it's going to be right on. Like, you're not going to have any taper once you get to the next hole size. It's going to be square, straight, round, whatever you want to call it. Now I've got it back on 11. We're 22 minutes into this, but this is set up, run. But I am spinning it really slow right now. If I spin it fast, it will eat quicker, but you run into a lot of chance of shatter. The good thing about this is I can speed this up on the go. So if I want to speed this up to 180, now you can hear it when it gets to the bottom, it growls. But it pops the load up quicker. And part of the reason that is when I'm stroking down, overstroking the bottom, the top is where that groove was in the center. Now, if I want to see if it's going to change, I can change the height of my block. Now when I swap to different grit diamonds, it is gonna change the way it hones. So this is very exaggerated, if I could say that correctly. It's not that much taper. You like being down there. see. When we get to 5, we should have been 2.5 more out. Well, we've been 3 because we were on 11. It doesn't like sticking down there like that. When they're broke in, it won't do that. But they're new. And look at that. That's coarse. Let's see where we're at. So a minute ago we were at 15. We're getting bigger, and we got bigger by 2 thou. Still bigger by 2 there. So that's 2 more. So between top and bottom, I'm 2 away from 15, 3 away from 15, 3.5 away from 15. I'm in the groove, so I'm 5 away from 15. I'll put her in and see what else it does. I do want to make sure I'm not hitting my diamonds. I don't see any contact sport. Go back in. Now, this machine here, let's say I want to take the bottom out quicker than it's doing. I can go in here and on dwell, I can say go to manual dwell, and I can tell it if I want to go on the top, middle, or bottom. And I'm going to say let's dwell on the bottom, and I'm going to go knock this bottom out a little bigger because I'm overstroking more on top. So I'm going to push this button, and every time I push this button, it stops. And it runs a cycle. And I'm going to keep pushing it. Now, I'm going to go back and set it on auto dwell. I'm going to let it do its thing. Now while that's doing that, I'm going to go see if this head's ready to turn off. Got one little shadow there. It's set up for one more pass, so I'm going to let it do it. Then once it's done with that pass, it'll actually go back to home by itself. So we're 29 minutes in. I've set this machine up. I've had that machine running. And all I've had to do was walk around and talk, really. It's not bad. Now, I'm going to manual this. And I'm gonna hit the bottom out a little bit more. Now I'm going back to auto. Now when this gets to 0, it's gonna shut off. Now if I would have had that block in the parts washer, I'd been doing good because I'd been cleaning, honing, decking, all at the same time. Alright. And generally, if I'd have put this in a boring machine, you know, it bores a lot quicker. And I would have bored within 5/1000ths of what I wanted to reach. Alright, she's just hitting 0. And it shuts off. So it dwells on its own, shuts off on its own. Now this is super coarse. Alright, so where I'm at right now is roughly 10, 10 and a half. There's still a little dip in that hole. 11, 10. Still a little dip there. Alright, so that's pretty much taking 10 out of the block. Now it's coarse, so once you put a fine stone over it, it'll eat a little bit more down before. So this block wouldn't have cleared up with 10. Now some of these holes are a little worse. She would have probably cleared up on 20. Definitely cleared up on 30. But we're having to go 40 because that's what the customers brought. But as you can tell, I mean, she's coarse, but we just got a little bit there, and we haven't really had to do anything. And it's straight. And when I change diamonds, it'll be even straighter. So right now, I'm probably gonna run one more hole because I got 8. So I'm gonna take 10 out at a time. This time I'm not gonna babysit it. This time, I'm just gonna sink it in the hole. I'm gonna change my dwell settings, and I'm gonna say I want it to dwell 8 times. Strokes between dwell, I'm going with the minimum. And this is the minimum threshold. I still want it 10%. Yeah, let's change it to, let's go 5%. This thing's probably gonna be fighting itself like crazy. But we're gonna try it. So, technically, this should be the same size hole as the other one when it's done. It'll be within 3 or 4 tenths. Because my diamonds are gonna be wearing, it came in at the same, it came in at 20. Now let's just see if it fights itself. Alright, it's ratcheting fast. I don't mind what it's doing. We got good oil flow going in there. So we're on 17. 16 would be 8 thou to go. I'm gonna let it do its thing. I'm gonna go check on this head. We're at 35 minutes into this video, so, and I have my table moving pretty slow. Alright, that head looks good. Now, when it gets down to the end, I'll just show you this part. My machine sometimes will get a back cut in it. If you buy one that's set up straight for automotive, they put a shim in it and they tilt that head anywhere from 2.5 thou to 5 thou. This head's 12 inches, this cutting head. So they'll let it tilt about 5 thou, maybe a little less. That way it doesn't back cut. Mine's completely flat. Mine's set up as a regular machine. So sometimes I get a little back cut when it's coming across from the head resonating. You can't measure it. You can see it. You can't feel it. It's just what it does. I don't want to tilt the machine. When you tilt it, you tilt your Z from your X. You take your column that your head's on, you loosen it up and you put a shim under one side and tilt it over. Now, I used to have a machine that was only made to do heads. It wasn't 3-axis or 4-axis automated. It was hydraulically driven. It was tilted. I never got back cut. I get a little bit on this, but that's what it is. So my program's running. I'm on ending line. Hitting about 821 on that RPM. Now, I let it run full travel. I don't write my program different to where it just runs. All right, see? You shut it off, it moved, it's done. Now all I need to do is blow it off, jog it forward, take it out, load up some more. Nice and shiny. So I'll blow it off, take it out. Let's go back and check on the home. Let's see, we were 35 minutes into the video. We're at 38. I'm really hoping I load this one up. It's been a minute. And it's doing what I thought. It's fighting itself a lot. I'm gonna go in and change the oil settings. And I'm going to tell it I want 10%. So it's going to change my threshold on what it reads different from one to the other. I don't like it setting in one spot over and over and over. New home. Doing a little work to the valve grinders. Had some broken springs on the D-clutch. They kicked the valves out, so I got some parts in. I'm gonna fix that. That one's still going good. This one just needed a little update. Got a big block setting to do. Got a couple more 3/8. I do these quite often. Got another set of heads I just did. Got a set of LSs to do. Got a bunch of FE stuff. I don't even like that. Alright, so I'm on 5. So instead of 5 being 5 thou, it's actually only 2.5 thou before it shuts off. Like I said, it's the way my head's made. It makes that gauge read different. And this machine will ramp up and go a lot faster. It's just, with new diamonds, the blocks don't like it. Sub-arc crank welder. It's a Gleason M2. How close are we? We're on 3, so that's 1.5 thou left to go. So it's 41 minutes. I'm gonna let this video just play out. Two marks is 1 thou to go. Usually when the diamonds are broke in on this speed, if the diamonds are broke in, instead of 180 on the RPM, I'll run this sucker about 230, 240. I'll keep my stroke about the same, and it would change the crosshatch angle. It'll be pretty darn flat. Which, right now, I'm only putting a 16. It's pretty flat. When I go to my fine setup, I'm set to do a 36 angle right now. I'm going to end up changing that because I'm going to want a different angle than that on my finish. Let's see what it will look like. 43. So we were 8 minutes. Go here. You just got where the ring is. Let's see what our hole looks like. We're on 20, past 25. We're on 20 and a half, past 25. Now in this groove, I'm gonna be, see, I'm 1 thou bigger still. So this whole hole is within 1/2 thou. Top to bottom already. It's within 1/2 thou in measurement. So what I'm gonna do is 2 down, taking it 10 over. Still got more to go on it. I'm gonna flip these diamonds over. So I'm gonna take them out. They go in this holder like this. And I'm just gonna rotate them. That way I can wear the other side of them, because right now it has a taper in it because of ring wear. So I'm gonna flip these every 2 holes till I get to 10 thou, and then I'm gonna flip them every side of the block. And I have these marked to where I can keep up with them. They're all numbered. They're all labeled which side's top, bottom. So each time I go through there, I can rotate them and keep all the wear the same on them. So I'm gonna loosen this, I'm gonna flip them. I'm gonna let this block keep working. All right, so I'm gonna upload, it's gonna be long. But I appreciate it if you made it this far. And if you didn't, I didn't know about it either. I'm going to try to get some more of these out. So, it's been a minute. Had a lot going on. Life. But I've been able to hit this and do some other work all at the same time. So we'll try to get some more out. Thanks if you made it. See ya.